Georgia, obviously, they just had their 11th player in the last few months arrested. Their 4th player pulled over for going 85 and a 55. One guy got pulled over after taking the other guy to court. It's what we've always known about, right? Matt, you played on those great Colorado teams that had a bunch of guys who were thugging and doing their thing, just like in Oklahoma, Nebraska, Florida, Miami, all the great teams. The better your roster is, I think you can attest to this, the more shitbirds you're going to have. It is what it is.
That's a fact.
And that's a fact. And you have to sit there and, okay, do I want to win games and deal with the drama, or do I want to have a bunch of average D3 white guys run around here and do the right thing and lose games and get fired? It goes either way. It's a tough situation to be in. My good friend Pat Fitzgerald was fired. I think it's total horseshit. We broke it down yesterday. I know we wanted to get you on here, and we want to get back and caught up with that. But do you think, because Friday's show is going to be lit, we're going to break this Georgia Kirby Smart thing down totality. After Pat Fitzgerald gets fired, and then all this comes out at Georgia, we can't even ask the question, is Georgia and Kirby Smart next? Because no, it's not. He's not next. He's going to win games. He's going to win national titles. He's won 2 in a row. He ain't going nowhere. It don't matter what the fuck happens at Georgia. But if Kirby was in Northwestern, I could easily see Kirby getting fired right now. The SEC covers a lot of things up because of their buy-in and what that league represents. Do you see this kind of being an issue if you can't tell a player, no, give me your fucking car keys, take away your NIL? You can't do it because the kid's going to be in the portal. So the coach is hamstrung a bit, right?
Okay. So look, a couple of things. Number one, I don't think coaches are hamstrung unless they're bad coaches. I mean, a good football coach that has the respect of his guys is going to be able to talk to them like men, and it's not just going to be about NIL all the time. And if the kid gets pissed off because you're disciplining him and he has to conform, then he needs to leave anyway. There's nothing wrong with getting in trouble as long as you aren't a repeat offender 15 times. Everybody gets in trouble when they go to college. I got arrested multiple times and did a month in jail, and I still graduated and got out of school and was a captain and got, all that shit. A great coach, Gary Barnett, that I played for at CU, always used to say that he wanted to reform, not necessarily recruit, and I agree with that. Like, I'm not trying to recruit a bunch of like put together kids at 18. If I've got to knock some rust off and dull some edges to make sure this guy can operate in society, well, that's a coach's job. It's to get a wild animal to conform until we got to put on pads. So that's one part of it. We'll get to the Pat Fitzgerald thing in a minute, but I think the coaches are in a very unique position right now to show leadership in a situation where there is none, where everybody's sitting around talking about what they can't do, and they can't do this because of this, and they can't discipline a kid because of NIL, and they can't take away this because he might transfer. And it's like the coaches are now operating out of fear because, oh my God, this kid thinks he has power because he can get on NIL money. So I think that all goes full circle into the Pat Fitzgerald thing. Like, trying to compare Georgia and Northwestern is like comparing a D1 school to a D3 school, and they're both D1 Power 5 schools. So They don't care about football at Northwestern. It's just something they do, and they just happen to have Pat Fitzgerald there. They really care about football at Georgia. They do not give a shit about drunk driving and like speeding and gun possession. They don't give a fuck. And you know what? It is what it is. It may lead to something worse down the road, but I'm not going to sit here and fearmonger. I'm not going to like live on the side of the road where everything is, oh my God, something bad's about to happen. I can't do that. I was married for 12 years already. I don't need to live my life like that anymore. So it's facts. So I think that full circle back to Pat got completely screwed. This is the media playing a narrative without any like real evidence. The dude that the whistleblower here, I mean, you're going to do it from a position of anonymity where nobody knows who you are. I mean, that's some coward shit. You might want to step up and put your name and your picture behind this because Coach Fitzgerald is, and he's a high character, extremely, well put together dude that does it right. And he's done it right since day one. And, I said this yesterday on my radio show on Altitude, but this is the jackass, generation, bro. Like, these kids are fucking weirdos. I can't sit here and say that I don't believe that they're having purge parties and dry humping each other, because that's what they watch on TV 5 hours a day. It's the locker room. Every one of us know this. It's a weird place that normal people aren't going to understand, and shit happens in there and people are like, what the fuck? That's weird. And I'm like, you just don't understand it. So again, football's not for everybody. Hazing covers a lot of ground too. And it's like, I never hear about hazing incidents. All I hear is people that heard from it, like, my cousin played for this school and they got hazed. Or back in the day at this school, I heard about hazing. But no one ever gets hazed anymore. Carrying pads isn't hazing.
Let me ask you. I was on Whitlock yesterday. He brought this up. He played. He played at Ball State, same school as Smitty played with years ago before us. He's older than us, but he said that hazing absolutely works. It always has worked amongst rosters and locker rooms. Do you agree with that?
As long as it's not sexually oriented, as long as it's not sexual assault shit, then yes. I think every now and then the cocky freshman needs to get his ass whipped. I think you need to throw a trash can over someone's head and beat the shit out of it sometimes that isn't going to buy in. If you're not going to buy in, then we're going to Gomer Pyle your ass with some fucking with a towel and some goddamn soap. Like, the other guys in the room are trying to win football games. Usually when somebody's getting hazed or put into like a program and they've got to earn their stripes, it's because they're not doing what they need to do in order to make it work. Period. They're affecting the whole group with their personal bullshit. So
like we go into college, and even in JUCO at Compton, we would strap up a new kid to the goalpost. We throw eggs at them, and we hit them with flour, and that was there you go, motherfucker. And there was no weirdo shit going on. Now, and get your ass out, duct tape them around the goalpost, fuck with them. In the NFL, throw a motherfucker, a rookie in the ice bath.
Cut their hair off. They got a lot of
Bro, we cut Tim Tebow's hair one year. It looked fucking ridiculous, man. We cut a dick into some kid's head on picture day the year before. Lonnie Paxton and I did. McDaniels got so angry. There's a dick in this kid's head, and we're like, yeah, we shaved it. It even got a point and a tip. Look, and like it's amazing to me that the world needs to get involved with everything that goes on with football that they have nothing to do with. Like, there's certain things behind closed doors that just the cameras aren't supposed to be on. Again, I'm not sitting here advocating sexual assault and shit. That it's a finger point too. That's not a fact. We don't know what actually happened at Northwestern. It's just a bunch of guys who probably didn't get to play and are mad at Pat that you are using the media to get him fired and it worked.
I mean, look at the 11 guys. They're fucking nobody walk-on sorry fucks.
Look, and I placed guys with Northwestern. I worked with a kid named Willie Boatman here out of Denver who walked on there and busted his ass and was part of the 18 and 20 North Division title champions that played for the Big 12 title game on 2 10-win Northwestern teams where Pat Fitzgerald was the man then. And he said that it's all being fabricated. It's all bullshit. Like, there's some truth to some of the, like, quote unquote hazing stuff that happens in the locker room with like teammates, but none of the sexual assault stuff is true. It's all being made up. Pat Fitzgerald didn't know anything about it. It's a vendetta. And
now you're getting the racial card bullshit coming out. And I had my good friend who was Pat's OC at the time called me actually during the show. I took the call. And he's like, JB, the fucking O-lineman that's talking about him being racist towards offensive players, I recruited there, and I was the OC. It's an absolute fucking lie, slapping Pat's face. This is a black man telling me that Pat is not a fucking racist. It's not even close. It's a witch hunt. And I'm going to tell you, Garrick thinks that Northwestern don't want to pay him the $20 million, and this is the excuse.
And that's where I was going with this is, I think that they looked at it and said, this is an opportunity to not have to pay a guy who went 1-11 last year to go 5-7 this year before they rebuild, because they always do. Northwestern does this all the time. They build a great team with a bunch of vets that they brought in and developed, and then those guys leave and go to the NFL, Slater, so on and so forth, and then he reloads, and he'll be good again in 2 or 3 years. He's got to rebuild the program. Northwestern is not Ohio State. But, like, I haven't really heard a lot about the racism part, but it's not surprising to me. Everything gets piled on here. You know, anybody with a problem will come out and say anything. That's fucking ridiculous, though. It's like that's the easiest thing to throw out these days if you don't like it.
Man, this is 17-year head coach here. 17 years. And all of a sudden, huh? Like, oh, we could have never found nothing on him for 17 years, but this year is the year we decided.
This all happened in 2020. It's 2023. The guys
on the 6-month-long investigation.
Yeah, and
they didn't find anything that showed that coach hadn't knew anything about it. How do you go from 2 weeks suspicion to you're fired?
Well, this is my problem with this: is they gave him 2 weeks suspension. The president went back and had a meeting with the initial whistleblower guy one-on-one, and after that meeting, Coach Fitzgerald gets fired. I'm sorry, but Northwestern should get the pants suit off of him. This dude that's the anonymous whistleblower, you are a coward piece of shit, bro. You need to step up and put
he transferred in February.
What is his name? What does he look like? Why is it?
We know who it is. We know who it is.
He needs to be called the fuck out, and he needs to be held accountable, and he needs to step up and talk about what actually happened and put people, if there's sexual assault and rape and shit going on, they need to go to fucking jail. People need to get fired, and this kid needs to be exonerated, and he should be praised. Otherwise, if he won't step up and talk about it and put a face with everything, and he's just going to be the anonymous guy in the back that no one knows about that's making all this happen, he's just a coward to me. Shitty
quarterback. What's his name? MacArthur or something? I forgot his name. Anyway,
who this kid is.
He's the whistleblower though, and he actually transferred out of the program last February.
What's his name?
Back up. I saw some earlier where
Google or something like that. I don't know. I have it. I have his picture.
And got leaked.
We need to fucking figure out who this kid is, and somebody needs to stick a fucking camera in his face.
It's already. His name's Carl Richardson.
Carl Richardson. Okay.
Carl.
You got some explaining to do.
He had 7 completions against, I think, like Wisconsin or something. He was 7 of 9. He was horrible.
Oh, so it's a quarterback too. Oh,
he's a quarterback, bro. He transferred in February, and now he's disgruntled.
Wait, time out. So this kid stayed on the team after all this happened, and then just transferred in February. This is all bullshit, dude. This is all bullshit. This is all. If you can't read through these lines, you're a fucking idiot, and you deserve to be on that side of the fence with all the finger pointers, dude. This is bullshit. I'm standing behind goddamn Pat Fitzgerald here. He's a great coach. I can't believe that this actually happened like this. This is ridiculous. And, like if this Carl Richardson, whatever his name is, somebody needs to get this kid on a podcast or a camera in his face, and he needs to answer some hard questions. Like, if this happened in 2020, why did you stick around for 2.5 more years? If you really got sexually assaulted, why aren't the cops involved? Who sexually assaulted you? Why did it take 3 years to come out? And what kind of blackmail leverage do you have on the president to make him make this decision the way he did?
Yeah. It's something's up, dude. It's a guy that's just horrible. Like, I mean, I don't want to boast here and get into a whole thing, but like this is literally what I've dealt with and why I left Independence.
Yeah, why would you want to coach right now, dog? Like
I can't.
I have people ask me like, why don't you go coach in college? And I'm like, bro, why would I want to leave the piece that I built for myself to go deal with all this bullshit?
Fuck no.
I have to worry about offending someone, man. Fuck all that shit. No.
And the cool part about it is, Matt, like I do agree with mentors of mine who say, man, these kids need you. I agree. But guess what?
They do. You're right.
I'm not begging you to need me.
Look, a lot of these kids really need help. This generation's in real trouble. But this is what they want, guys. They want weak men in charge. They want
Matt. There you go, Matt.
Yeah, so there he is, Carl. Yeah, Carl Richardson, and he's from
Salinas, California.
So look, man, this is the kid that I need some answers here, Carl. I need to know, exactly what's really going on. And I mean, how many completions did he have?
He's 2 attempts, no
5 for 13 in his whole fucking career, huh? And this is the guy that's bringing down Pat Fitzgerald. I mean, come on, dude. And he stuck around, and there's proof that he stuck around after it happened. It happened in 2020. He stayed there for 2 years as the backup.
Yeah.
Look at him. It looks like a fucking.
Come on, dog. Give me a fucking break. This is so ridiculous. This kid, if Northwestern had any balls, all those players and all those coaches would just stop going to work right now. I would never play for that university again. Everybody should go to the transfer portal fucking immediately. The coaches should be like, either pay me or cut me or get me out of here because I don't want to be involved with this. The Northwestern I think that they just committed football suicide, bro. Who the fuck would want to go there and coach or play for this place when they're not going to have your back ever at all? There's no due process here. This guy gave 17 years. This is what happened.
Let me ask you a better question. Who wants to coach there?
That's what I'm saying. Why would you want to be involved with it at all? Why would you want to coach there? Why would you want to play there? This is the way they're going to treat people? Go. I'm sorry, but in 2004, I played at CU, and we had to deal with the Katie Nida smoke show that was bullshit, and her acting like she got raped and sexually assaulted, and it drug a ton of guys' names through the mud and got my coach suspended and almost fired, and ultimately was the reason he got fired a year later. And it destroyed the integrity of the program, and everybody thought everyone was a cancer. And it came out years later that nothing actually happened, and nobody ever got convicted of anything. The DA in Boulder, the Mary Smith or whatever her name was, had to change her name to keep working in Boulder County because everybody was so mad at her about it. She changed her fucking name because she was so embarrassed about what she did. I'm sorry, bro, but I'm not going to jump on the finger pointing the bandwagon with everybody sitting here acting like they know what's going on because they heard sexually assaulted and hazing because ESPN is irresponsible and just puts out fucking trigger words to get people to click.
That's a fact, man. And real quick, something that I saw online too that I thought was interesting was this breakdown. It was a Northwestern fan zone, whatever, kind of tweeted this out. So it has actual dates. It said November 19th, a walk-on named Cole Freeman gets his first start at QB. He was chosen over the scholarship QB Carl Richardson. November 26th, Freeman gets his second start, and then freshman backup Jack Losh gets playing time, as well as wide receiver Malik Washington gets a chance to throw a pass, where Carl Richardson gets no playing time. And then November 30th is when the anonymous complaint comes out. So I don't know, man. You're seeing trends and dates and facts come out. Yeah. People are saying that he's embellishing and over-exaggerating on some of the hazing just to get him fired. And me as a former player, you see this shit all the time when players get fed up, they get upset that they're not playing, they think they're better than the guy in front of them. And they start acting out and hating on the coach and will do whatever, get him in trouble. Exactly.
Yeah, it's his fault. It's coach's fault. Man, I don't get to play. So, mommy, what should I do? Can I come home? I miss being home. This is what I'm talking about. It's a bunch of 18-year-old children.
Yeah. Hey, man, here's some things that Garrick sent me. Ramon Diaz posted a tweet. And it said, this event has always been a blast for me and my family. Thank you, Coach Fitz, for developing your players into great role models for hundreds of kids who attend this event. Go Cats. Ramon Diaz, an offensive lineman that played for Fitz from 05 to 08, while my boy was the OC there. Then he writes, before that, he wrote, Coach Fitz continues to influence my life today. He expects his athletes to be exceptional students. The culture he created at Northwestern is one that I speak of with great admiration to youth athletes daily. Proud to be a Wildcat. And then listen to this shit. Then he goes on. Now he's doing this personal training thing. And on his tagline, he says, former offensive lineman for Pat Fitzgerald at Northwestern.
Yeah.
Comes out and calls him, he was racist during my time at Northwestern.
What?
This is the guy, Ramon Diaz, dog. And Garrett sent me this yesterday and was like, this shit got me hot, JB. I was there with him, and you know Pat as well as, and I coach for Pat, and this is the shit he's dealing with. People are paying these guys either money to say these things, or these guys are doing it for social media clout like a prankster does on YouTube videos. We're living in a prankster environment. This is fucked up. People are losing their livelihood for this.
I can't believe the world we live in anymore, bro. Like, people are so fucking sensitive and so soft, and nobody can say anything, and there's no conversation, and everyone's emotions are more important than facts, and allegations are the truth, and the truth is not. And, you know, everybody's a fucking racist on both sides, and everybody's an idiot, and everyone's a piece of shit, and fuck everyone. I mean, what happened? What the fuck?
I don't know. This is leading me to
I grew up in didn't act like this, though. I'm 41 years old, and I don't know anybody that's that fucked up in their head. And so I'm concerned about everything moving forward, but there's so much money pushing all this that people are going to keep doing it. And
you know what people don't talk about? If we really want to go, we can go back into my situation. You want to fast forward a little bit. A good friend of mine, the head coach, Nick Rolovich at Washington State, gets fired for the jab. Don't taking it. He didn't take the jab. Nobody talks about that no more. He left a whole.
He got totally fucked too.
He got fucked. He's suing right now, but he'll never coach again. Blackballed, right? Just like myself. Now Pat Fitzgerald's facing the same situation. And here's my question to you, Matt. I know you mentioned totally different at Georgia. I get it. We all get it, especially guys like us get it. Us three get it. A lot of people in the chat will understand, too, what we mean by, you know, when you care about football, winners find a way, losers make excuses. We get it. That's what the SEC has been forever. But in cancel culture era is my question to you. We're living in this, what you just mentioned. What the fuck's going on? What's happened? I don't think it would blow my mind. I would not be super shocked if they do come after Kirby Smart if another incident occurs. Because from what I'm hearing you got beat writers in Atlanta who are specifically trying to pull dirt up and get Kirby Smart out of there. Probably Georgia Tech alum. Who knows? Like, just think about it. We live in a shady, bitch-made ass environment where people are trying to get you fired.
Now, rather than beat your opponent, you got to figure out a way to get him fired. I mean, it doesn't surprise me at all. I mean, there's
no coincidence why I was booted out of Indy. Why they wanted me out. Every coach in that league wanted me out. There's no coincidence why.
It's football has become a popularity contest, and it's always been a good old boy league where you hire your buddies and shit like that. I don't really have a problem with that, but I do have a problem with if you're, you know, like certain coaching staffs, if you're not a Christian, you can't be on the staff. Or certain areas, like if you are too religious, you can't be on the staff, or you're not going to fit in this community because of this, you know, way of thinking, or this community because of this way of thinking. Whereas back in the day it would just be, I can't wait to go to a different community to learn about it and put myself in it and you know, immerse myself in the culture and learn. And now it's like, I'm just going to stay in my own fucking bubble, and God forbid anybody comes in my bubble, and I'm just going to stay here and be safe. And I don't think it's good for football. I don't think it's good for people. And, you know, if everybody just wants safe spaces, well, I'm sorry, but the world isn't safe, and not everybody else thinks like Americans. We're the only ones that got fucking brainwashed like this. And we brainwashed some of the other Western European cultures, but there's a ton of cultures out there that still need masculine men and still promote it and want a two-parent household and want, you know, certain things to be the way they've been in the past. And not everything in the past is good, but it's not all bad either. Right. I mean, fuck, man. I mean, the entire situation that we find ourselves in here with college football and kids getting in trouble, they're kids. They're young men. They're going to get in trouble. Period. So, again, are we reforming or are we recruiting? And if you just expect everybody to come in and act like a button-up adult immediately, then you probably shouldn't coach college football. And, you know, go to the NFL and coach men who are going to get in trouble anyway because they're now 23 with money and they're going to get in even more fucking trouble. So
Hey,
There's no way around guys getting in trouble, but I will say this. Just because you get overlooked on a depth chart, that doesn't mean the coach is racist. Maybe you just suck.
Hey, to your point, you're saying some things that kind of bring it back to what you don't agree with me. I agree with Lane Kiffin, and I've had a conversation with recently about certain things. When you made college football and you took away amateurism and you made it a free agency without return, you are getting exactly what you just broke down.
It was like this before, though, guys.
Yeah, but not to this extreme. Not where you couldn't control your locker room for afraid to lose a player because you can't pay him enough money, or you can't discipline him because he's going to leave on your ass because you got yelled at. It wasn't to this extent.
If a kid gets disciplined and leaves, then I don't fucking want him anyway. Fuck that kid. And that's the way I feel about it in my business too. I'll never, ever, ever chase after a pussy. Ever. I don't chase pussies. I don't chase after pussies ever. So,
me either.
But then again, on the other side of the coin, if you're a coach, then you can't coach out of fear. You got to do what you do. That's why you got hired. So
you do. But let me ask you this though: there's deeper conversation with this too.
Sticky situation.
It is, and that's why I want to ask you. There's a deeper conversation to it. There's no honor among thieves, and that being said, we are living in a thieves market. Like, this is the craziest we've ever seen it. Like, you can't expect Sark and Lane, who are boys, to tell each other now what we used to tell each other back in the day when he was at Washington and he was at SC, because now guess what? That same kid you're discussing now will enter the portal, and you will have to get him because you got to keep up with the Joneses. So now everybody's trying to take everybody's player, and it's become no honor among thieves, and we are seeing it at an all-time high. And now you just mentioned we're backstabbing each other at all-time rate because we're trying to fucking keep our job, and yet we're going to get fired for a lie from a kid that make up the whole story. Like, we're so fucked up in this situation that I agree with them. If I could make the same money at Walmart, I'd leave coaching. That is a quote from a big-time coach. I'm just telling you.
Well, look, I can't believe that Northwestern set this precedent.
No.
That they would allow like finger-pointing allegations to fire a 17-year head coach.
A guy that wanted to be there, not needed to be there. And you and I discussed this all the time.
He could have left 50 times. He's had so many people offer him other jobs.
He could have went to Purdue. He could have went to Wisconsin. Could have went to a few of these spots.
And now he will, because I bet you a year from now, Pat Fitzgerald is the defensive coordinator at Alabama or something. And then he's the fucking head coach at God knows where after that. Right. He's not going to not have another job. People can see through this.
All right, so let's fast forward. I hate to do this because I hate to say that I'm now a content or a media personality. I hate this because I'm still at heart a coach. You're still at heart a player and a coach, and you're still life coaching players in football. Let me ask you something. And Big Smitty played and understands it better than anyone. We have to discuss it, which I hate to do right now. I hate to take it to this level before you leave, Matt. Because it's just like a slap in Pat Fitzgerald's face. But we have to do it as for what we do, which I have these cringe fucking vibes in my system right now when I'm about to ask you what I'm about to ask you. Who's the next head coach at fucking Northwestern?
I don't know. Why would you want that job?
I know, but we understand what job it is. We understand it is a Midwest Stanford type of style, right?
Well, it's a great job if this isn't going on. If you actually have the support of the administration, it's a good job. But
is David Shaw the best fit?
No, fuck no. Don't go there. Don't fucking go there. If they'll do this to Pat Fitzgerald, they'll do it to David Shaw quick. So
we had a conversation last night. It seems like that's a plug and play because the situations that he's coming from is very similar to this one. Academic style.
That's all wrong. Again, I'm looking at it from a perspective of why the hell would I ever move? Like, David Shaw's got millions of dollars and is established. why the fuck would he want to go deal with this bullshit? Like, they're doing it to themselves too. That's the thing. They could have easily. They didn't need to. The media didn't blow this up, or Northwestern didn't blow this up. The media did off of the report that he's getting fired. I didn't even know this was going. I didn't even know he was suspended for 2 weeks until I saw that he was fired. So,
hey, man, let's be honest. We're realists and we're honest people. We're gonna tell the truth. There's 1,000 motherfuckers that are coordinators right now trying to put their name in that hat right as we speak because they want $5 million a year. So,
and they should, and that's the same reason why kids should want to get paid too, because being the goddamn guy that's always doing shit for free is fucking terrible. It sucks. There's no fun in that. Like,
here's a text.
You want me to give back, but you're not going to give me anything. Fuck you.
Here's a text I got from somebody watching who's connected. Don't be surprised if Tommy Reese is the new head coach by the end of the week.
Oh, well, cool. Good for him. Have fun at no one gives a shit land.
And now, it's going to really set back Alabama again, because now you have a quarterback question, you have an OC question mark, and now you have to put – now Saban, that will be something that pisses Saban off. They'll
go 11-1 and be just fine, bro.
I know, but you don't usually leave Alabama in July.
Well, you do to go be a head coach.
Yeah. We shall see, man. I don't know. The whole situation's fucked up, man.
Hey, it's a very sticky situation, and I hope that this kid that we blasted out on here says something. Like, he's got a phone. He's got a social media page. People need to start asking him questions. He needs to be accountable for all this shit. Come on, fucking fourth-string quarterback that got overlooked and got his feelings hurt, and now everybody's getting fired because your feelings are more important than the fucking program. I mean, I need to hear why you're more important than all the men on the team now and everybody that you played with and your head coach and everyone else in his family. So, if this all really happened, then brother, if all this happened to me, I wouldn't be like, none of this would be in. All that you would see in the media is Matt McChesney was arrested because he killed everyone that sexually assaulted him. Matt McChesney was arrested.
Hey, before you leave, it's interesting. I had an NFL running back. There's a friend of the show who called me yesterday before he comes back to camp, plays for the Chargers. And he calls me, he goes, JB, what in the fuck's going on in this world? I'm a young cat, still, young, and I don't understand this. And I'm just going to tell you, there's no way another grown man is going to lay me down with a purge mask on and try to fuck me. Nope. And he's like, there's no way I believe what happened in that locker room happened. So,
I don't think it happened.
And if it really happened, why is he putting all the blame on Coach Fitzgerald? Even if all this is true, I'm not hearing no players' names. You ain't calling on none of the players that supposedly did it. That don't make no sense. I'm a player. Listen, the head coach don't know everything that's going on in the locker room. I don't care. You can go out there and say they're supposed to. They're not supposed to. It's impossible. It's 100 plus motherfucking kids in here. There's no way for you to know every single detail that's going on in your locker room. So in the event that it is true, why are you putting all the blame on the head coach and not the players, not your teammates? That's what's coming. That's what's suspicious to me. Doesn't make sense. I don't understand that part.
This is my point. If you had a crime perpetrated against you, why aren't they arrested? Why did anybody know about this? Like, this is sexual assault in the Me Too era where this is a big deal, and it should be. No one's trying to minimize it. Right. But obviously it's not that big of a fucking deal because nothing happened for 3 years, and he still played for the coach that allowed him to be sexually assaulted. Like, I'm sorry, but this is too much bullshit for me to sit here and fucking say that this kid has any leg to stand on. This fucking kid got his feelings hurt and thought he was Joe Namath and figured out he was just Joe Smith and has to go get a job, and now he's fucking mad, and he wants to make sure everybody else feels it the way he felt it. If I'm getting fucked, everybody's getting fucked.
But Matt, we see, what we see with this? We see the players get this with when the woman comes out and falsely accuses of rape or whatever.
All the time, yep.
I mean, it's the same fucking scenario. The captain goes down with the ship type of deal.
But it has, I've seen situations where like Jerome Bettis was accused of something back in the day and it turned out to be bullshit. So there is situations where, the righteous prevail. But at the same time, bro, the trick of every coward out there is being able to convince people that they're right, and the people that are right and doing it correct are wrong. And then that's what's happening here. Somehow the people that are covering this story at ESPN and so on and so forth, they see trigger words and they don't investigate, and they just jump in on it because they know it's going to be a quote unquote story, and the story runs, and then people start losing their jobs. And I mean, if I'm ESPN, I don't know if I feel dirty talking about this at this point. You got this guy fired. Like, none of these journalists ask questions. They're just up there talking heads. Yes, because nobody wants to fucking say anything because everybody's worried about their own job and not actually what's going on.
And you know what, man? I know you're leaving, and I appreciate you jumping on here. Hopefully I'll see you this Friday or something. But let me ask you this. Explain on your way out the door what the difference between this and the Penn State situation is, because I've had 3 conversations already. It's a complete.
Sandusky fucking raped kids and at camps and shit for years.
I'm battling a guy on social media who's trying to tell me Joe Pa didn't know. Yes, he did know.
Joe Pa knew everything, and the administration knew, and there was no social media. Fucking watch the documentary, you morons. This is what I'm talking about. People are fucking so stupid that they think they're right about everything. No one's right about everything. Dude, you can't compare what's happening at Northwestern to what happened at Penn State. It's totally different, and it's not comparable either. I mean, give me a fucking break with this. This is my entire point with everyone. Like, not everything. You don't know fucking everything. Your opinion is not a fact.
And I had guys on the staff, and I'm trying to tell this fucking guy on Twitter, like, you're wrong about Penn State. Joe Pa didn't know nothing. Yeah, he fucking did.
I wonder if he's a Penn State fan.
Yeah, he's a Penn State fan, exactly.
Exactly, dude. He's a fucking Penn State fan. He doesn't want Joe Pa's name drawn through the mud. I'm sorry, but he knew. They even made a fucking movie about it. Al Pacino made an awful movie about him knowing.
Did he really? I didn't even see it.
Oh, it was fucking terrible.
Must be on Tubi.
It was on the HBO.
Oh shit. All right. Hey, you on altitude today?
Every day.
Altitude, grinding, man.
Hey, there's a lot to discuss, man. I need you on the show more. I can't wait to get towards football season, though. We're gonna kill this thing. Did you see Dwight Howard cussing out his kid on a bike, and everyone's trying to cancel Dwight Howard now for pushing his son to the limit, working out?
Man, I'm surprised I haven't been canceled then yet, because I called my son a motherfucker yesterday in the gym. I said, hey, motherfucker, are you going to run full speed? And he's like, yes, sir. So cancel me too, bitch. But
that's nothing.
You can't cancel me, motherfucker, because I do my own hustle. You can't cancel a hustler. Hey. You can only cancel somebody that's dependent on you.
Hey, motherfucker is like a great American word. I don't know why that was
an American word. You can think about this. It's the best. These are the 5 best. These are 5 different motherfuckers. Motherfucker! Motherfucker. Ooh. Motherfucker. Motherfucker. Motherfucker, my toe. Those are like 5 different ones. And this is another one like motherfucker. Whoa!
That's my favorite motherfucker right there.
What the fuck?
Ooh, shit. God damn.
Like gold. Holy God.
What? Motherfucker.
He said,
motherfucker.
Hey, it's top 5 American word, but I can't say what number 1 American word is on the show.
Oh, shit. What's the number 1 American
word?
No,
I know he must know.
I can't say it.
What do you mean you can't say it?
You're going to get us canceled on it. The stream going to stop, man, if he says
what is the number 1 American word? Text me it.
I mean, I think personally.
Don't say it if you can't say it, dickhead.
It's not. I don't think it's that bad. I'm just saying it's in context, so it's not going to hurt us. I think retard's the best word. No? Am I way off beat on that?
Hey, JB crazy as hell, man. Hey, you are crazy as hell.
I mean, I really think that's the best American word in the dictionary. Is it not? Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Why is that such a big word? You see how everybody's cringing now? Why is that such a big word? I'm so lost.
Hit that like button, y'all. Hit that like button, subscribe. Make sure you follow us on IG, Twitter, TikTok, 60 Academy on IG.
Man, I'm just telling you.
I'm going to leave on that one. I don't know what to say.
Coaches used to
hey, Matt.
A word. And kids loved it.
Motherfucker.
Hey, you have a great day, you retard.
Later.
Peace.